What's up, everybody? Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I will be doing a full review on a fragrance that I got at my local Burlington. Now, my Burlington, or all my rack stores, the Marshalls, Rosses, and especially Burlington has been dropping some major great pickups. It's mainly Middle Eastern style fragrances, brands. Latafa, Afnan, and some brands that I haven't even heard before that I'm getting hip to that needs some light shined on them as well. But this particular fragrance I'm doing a full review on is from the house of Rasasi, if I pronounce that fragrance brand right. But I'm talking too much. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from the house of Rasasi, this is Hawas for him, Ice. Definitely digging the bottle. I really do like the bottle, mainly because of the cap. The cap looks really nice, but yeah, looks really nice. This fragrance ran me $35 and some change. For those of you who care, here is the box. Got the name of the fragrance, and you got the concentration here, size and concentration at the bottom. Nothing really going on up top, just a little symbol or something like that right there at the top of the box. Nothing there. Nothing there. Upside down. You got some ingredients and all that great stuff with the barcode right there. And on the back of the box, you just got some ingredients and information on the back of the box. This box is like super reflective. I'm sorry. All right, full presentation of the bottle time. Here you go. Hawas Ice for him. Well, Hawas for him Ice. Right there at the bottom of the sticker, you got the size and concentration, some information there. Nothing on the sides, nothing on the back. When it comes to the cap, nothing inside of the cap. It snaps into a snug fit. The atomizer on this joker is beautiful. So, what do I get out of this fragrance? This fragrance opens up beautifully with a fruity, citrusy type of a zesty spice, green spice. It's a fresh, spicy fragrance when it opens up. It's a great, intoxicating, vibrant, crowd-pleasing fragrance. If you like the original Hawas, you will definitely enjoy this one because this one doesn't stray too much away from the original. They basically share the same components, same DNA as the original, but it's a little bit more on the fresher, brisk, fresh, spicy type of the spectrum, because the original here, this one is more of the sweet bubblegummy, like Invictus-y type of a style fragrance, but it's still a great fragrance and a crowd-pleasing fragrance. If you like this one, you will definitely love this. All right, moving right along into the notes, you have in the top apple, Italian lemon, Sicilian bergamot, and star anise. Now, this fragrance in the top is beautiful. This is like my favorite part of the fragrance when it opens up in the top with that apple. You get a lot of like sour citruses when it comes to that bergamot and the Italian lemon, as well as that apple. It's a green sour apple type of a smell, but it's not too sour to where it's like, is like really potent. It's chill. This fragrance opens up fresh, fruity, spicy, with a star anise that was supposed to give off some type of a masculine, powdery, floral type of a accord, but it's not really noticeable. It's not really noticeable because that lemon and bergamot, as well as that green apple, is really potent, and it drowns it out quite a bit until you get into the mid notes with the plum, orange blossom, and cardamom. The star anise and the orange blossom in this fragrance, work hand in hand beautifully as you transition to the top and to the mid, because like I said, the star anise I really don't get too much of until that orange blossom starts to creep up and show its face, and that star anise kind of draws itself out based off the meshing of the orange blossom, is what I'm trying to say. The orange blossom has like this sweet floral, like white, bright type of masculinity to it as it dries down on your skin with that plum. The plum is like a dark fruitiness. It's a really dark fruity scent. That's where you get like as it dries down on your skin, because it's not so bright as it dries down like it is in the opening because of that plum. The cardamom is like a sweet, resinous, dry type of oriented type of a spice and sweetness as it drives down on your skin with that plum, which drives down beautifully in the mid notes. But once you get into that base, you get that musk, amber, and driftwood, as well as that moss. When it completely dries down on your skin throughout the longevity of the fragrance, I got good news. Like, if you like the top and the mid, so far as I'm describing, it really does linger on throughout the longevity of the fragrance when you get into the mid notes though. I mean, the base notes. Once you get to the base notes, that musk amber, is warm, animalic, and masculine as it gets to that base, but it's not too noticeable. It's just that once you hit that base, it's kind of chill, not too much of an annoyance, not too bold or potent or anything like that. The driftwood, it's a salty type of a woodiness that you get. That's what the driftwood to me is what meshes well with the top notes, with the apple, the bergamot, and that lemon, because they share the same accords of like that salty, fresh, mineralized type of a freshness that it gives off, at least in the opening at least. The moss is really like that green foresty, bitter, inky type of a smell that is like, gives a little bit more of a masculine, like 30 plus age on up type of a, that manly type of a accord, that manly masculine type of a accord that you get once it dries down on your skin. But overall, you get like this fruity, sour green, fresh, spicy, just amazing fragrance that this is. All the notes does its thing quite nicely and makes this fragrance legendary. Like I said before, if you like the original, you would definitely dig this. For $35 and some change, it is a steal. It is a steal to the point where I had to get a second bottle. It is so good that I had to get a second bottle of this, because you already know how the rack stores get down. You see hitters one moment and you don't see them no more for quite some time. So if you like these, I say rack up on them. How many is up to you, but to me, 2 is good enough. All right, when it comes to the performance on this thing, the performance was very, very nice. If you guys don't know by now that if you're new to this channel, I'm an oversprayer. So this fragrance was pretty potent on my skin, and I highly recommend that you don't overspray with this one, because there's no need to, because the performance on here was pretty nice. I got a good solid 6 to 7 hours. It became a skin scent after like the 3 to 4 hour mark, still giving you a good sillage, a nice projection averagely at the same time. It was a steady push of an average projection. The projection was like a good hour to 2 hours on my skin based off overspraying, of course. But if you do like a couple of sprays, if you're not an oversprayer, that doesn't mean that you will not get the performance that I did, because you definitely will. Probably not as long, but I'm talking too much. Okay, I'm talking too much. I digress. The performance is solid, very solid. So it's not lacking in the performance department. All right, so if you're wondering what seasons you can pull this off with, I will say this is a spring, summer, and fall type of a fragrance. When it comes to the wintertime, I mean, I don't think it'll mesh too well. I mean, it's too much on the fresher, fruitier side. That's more, it's too bright. Okay, it's too bright of a fragrance and uplifting for it to resonate in the wintertime. I think it's more for like, spring, summer, and fall. The original, if you like this one and you wanna wear something like this in the wintertime, the original, I will say, is more versatile for the wintertime versus this one. But if you wanna wear it in the wintertime, by all means, do what you do. But that's just my opinion. All right, when it comes to the age groups, I will say this is like, the youthful crowds, younger gentlemen, to like middle age and stuff like that. That's what I think that the age bracket resides in with this one. If you're an older gentleman and you like this, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't really have like that grown man feel with this one, even though it drives down and get a little bit more masculine, not too much, but it doesn't have that older gentleman, grown man type of a feel coming from this one. If you are an older gentleman and that's what you're looking for, you're not gonna find it in here, in my opinion. At least on my skin, I didn't get that type of accord. But yeah, middle age, to, well, youthful crowds to middle age, younger gentlemen to middle age. All right, ladies and gentlemen, should you buy from the house of Rasasi, Hawas for him ice? Without a shadow of the doubt, you should buy this fragrance. The price is right. The smell and performance is right. You cannot go wrong. If you are a gentleman that is looking for compliments, this will not disappoint you in the compliment department, because I did get compliments when I wore this at work, from two ladies, and they did enjoy this fragrance quite a bit, as far as like smelling it on me and asking me what it is. This is a wonderful fragrance that's uplifting, bright, that will put you in a very, very good mood, because it put me in a good mood every time I spray it, even when I spray it around the house. But yeah, this is a wonderful fragrance. Pick it up while it's there, because it might not be there anymore. You know how the rack stores do. So that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed, and have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.